What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. And I'm holding it down. My guy Spec back in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's good, man? Nothing much.
Spec beat COVID again, bro.
COVID.
They say he's ravaging California. I don't know what to believe nowadays. He's ravaging. I'm sure people there is like, no, it's not. But I heard it's tearing up California right now. You don't know what to believe, actually. That brings me right to quicker spotlight story. You know how we start every episode
right
off.
into it.
Right into it, bro. We start every episode off with a big story, little story. This one was big. In my world, at least. Mark Zuckerberg had come out, right, and said the Biden administration forced him to censor certain information back in 2021 and 2020.
I didn't hear that, but I knew about that.
You knew about that they forced him to do it, or that he
Yeah, but I thought it wasn't only Facebook, but it was like
Twitter.
Yeah, like all of them.
Yeah, the Biden administration probably pressured them too. I think Elon, when he took over Twitter, he had come out and dropped some of that. But basically, letter to the House Judiciary Committee, Mark Zuckerberg, the Meta CEO, said that the Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor content and then pushed harder after the company initially resisted the government coercion. Basically, it was information about COVID-19 and a little bit, I think, in terms of they didn't want election interference. They were threatening about that, which related to Hunter Biden's laptop. When that story had come out, they actually and from what Mark Zuckerberg says, they gave him options. He didn't have to take everything down. He could have I believe Facebook has ways where the algorithm will just devalue you, for lack of a better word, so you won't be seen as much. Right. Mark Zuckerberg makes it seem like they made it a choice, but it wasn't a choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it seemed like it's 3 years later, right? I feel like you just coming out now because you felt like they punked you.
Well, he's coming out now because they're headed out of office.
Well, they say because it's a lame duck president, basically, that he's a. Right. So what are they going to do? Right. You know what I mean? But it feels like they punked you and now you acting like more like a punk. It's like, now I'm about to say something. You know what I mean?
Like Red when Debo leave, he's going to be talking again.
It's 100%. 100%. It's like, first, a couple of weeks ago, I think Zuckerberg came out and was like, when Trump came up with the fist and the bloody air, that was badass. You know what I'm saying? And now this, it feel like, you know what I mean, he ain't feeling the certain administration that's in right now. You know what I mean? But this is important to us because I'm not mad at the government for doing it. And I don't like censorship. I don't think, Kanye West was wilding, but I don't necessarily think he should be banned from Twitter or X or whatever the case may be. Now, maybe suspended, maybe off a certain amount of time, but I think just taking people off, shutting them down is very dangerous. I didn't like when it was done to Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. But with COVID-19, you gotta put yourself back in them times, y'all. It was scary times. We didn't know what was going on. It was like, we didn't know what was going to happen of it. Now, listen, don't demonetize me. Don't do none of that. I'm just going to speak what I think. This is just theory. I think, and this is what Google says today, right? COVID-19 affects people over 65 and older a lot more than it affects
or people with compromised,
immune systems. Right. Correct. I think they knew that, right? And they also know America don't really care about old people. Like, it's bad to say, right? But we don't. I got to remind myself I'm like, call your parents, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right. We
just don't. It's just like, we don't. It's like in other societies, they kind of regard the elders. We don't do that here. Right, we kind of go somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
Go somewhere, ride it out.
Yeah. Don't depress everybody around. And I think the government, rightly so, kind of knew that if people knew that, they're going to be like, I'm not going to go to this concert because grandma might, it's bad to say, but grandma might get sick, you know what I'm saying? They going to go. That's just, people was going to weddings when they was telling them not to. People was doing all types of stuff. So I think they just know American sentiment wasn't going to care about elderly people. And who's the government? Who's it ran by? Old folk. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People, not necessarily all over 65 and older, but closer there than maybe the 25 millennial age. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame them for maybe predicting, I just think, what human sentiment and mass hysteria would do. And they're like, yo, bro, you can't just be talking crazy on Facebook. Old people listen to this.
It's not only that though. You have to think like when it comes to COVID, the biggest thing, the government wanted was to get high vaccination numbers, right? Now, if we're in the world where like, on social media, there's all of these negative things, we'll just say, about COVID, and we know how popular social media is and how much impact it has on people of all ages, that could hinder the mission, so to speak, as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, if there's a lot of misinformation out there, which we know there was, that, that's also a valid reason to want to, because, the most important thing is we want to get people vaccinated to try and get that herd immunity, because it was a public health emergency. It was a real thing.
I haven't heard that term in a while. I remember that. Herd immunity. And the previous administration literally was said, maybe we could try bleach. He was saying this on hot mics in press conferences. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think someone had to step in and be like, yo, we got to be the adults in the room here, because my man's wilding, just talking crazy. His followers are talking even crazier. Whether they were right or wrong, that word you said, the herd immunity, was, I think, the goal. And maybe I'm different. I feel like the ends justify the means. I don't feel like I missed out on anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people probably want those years back. I don't. I think I lived.
I think it just depends on how it affected you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I was probably here alone, you know what I'm saying, isolation, then maybe I'd probably feel different about it. But I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So I think it but even so, it was a sacrifice of everybody, you know what I'm saying? My kid was doing classes in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It took a lot, but I think I don't know. I was like, I'm not mad about it. There are some people to this day.
Are you talking specifically about the censorship?
No, not the censorship, the lockdown. So
okay.
Yeah. So like, or even.
No, the lockdowns were necessary.
Yeah.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Because the way COVID was spreading at that, like, too many people were dying, and it wasn't only just old people in the beginning. Like, it was a real thing. So it's just one of those things. The lockdowns were necessary, hands down.
Now why you felt the need to take down information about Hunter Biden's laptop? They probably was punking you. They probably, you know what I'm saying? We talking about not to switch gears here, but we talking about the same administration, so to speak, that just strong armed Joe Biden up out of here. Because he didn't want to go. My man went kicking and screaming, bro. Like somebody brought up a theory, and I'm like, it kind of makes sense, right? And if we didn't notice this, and I should speak for me, I noticed a lot more things, I think, than maybe the average person my age, maybe in my demographic, because I podcast. Mm-hmm. So I kind of I say it, I research it, then I edit it. You know, I hear it so many times that certain things get locked in my memory. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking at it through a different lens, and I remember the day my girl read the text, was like, Joe Biden just stepped down, right? And then so I'm listening to this theory that homeboy was saying. He was like, yo, Joe Biden did not want to leave. He said, no, I ain't going nowhere. I beat him once. I'm going to beat him again. Embarrassed himself in the debate. Said, let me do this little interview. You know what I'm saying? Let me do a little interview. I'm going to say, they didn't really do that. That had an interview. Then I think, remember, George Stephanopoulos got stopped on the street.
Hey, hey, how you doing? Good. What do you think? Do you think Biden should step down? You talked to him more than anybody else have lately. And you could be honest. Serve 4 more years. You don't think he can serve 4 more years? All right. That's an answer.
I don't think he got another 4 years. I'm like, damn, George. you just let down the whole administration. But told the truth. So this honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? He didn't think he had another 4 years in him. Joe's still like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. I got this. Right? NATO, right? But then they do like a G6 conference or something like that had come to town. He's like, I got this. I got this. My Vice President Trump, you know what I'm saying? Give it up for President Putin, you know what I'm saying? Just slipping in front of everybody, you know what I'm saying? And then still was holding like, yo, we not doing this, dog. I'm running. I'm not going nowhere. We got this. Da-da-da-da-da. Y'all about to have to start over. Nah, I did the primaries. I did this. I earned this. I think homeboy, but I got to say more me. I heard this on the podcast. His people was on the news that morning that the news dropped, talking about Joe Biden not going nowhere. Like this is stop talking about getting him out of here. We not doing a. Forget George Clooney. Nobody like him as Batman anyway. We sticking with Joe Biden. Then Joe Biden drops the tweet. It's a letter on Twitter, right? Why Twitter? First time an incumbent president is not going to try to run again. Wouldn't that be an address, which we did get a couple of days later?
Remember, he was still sick when all of this happened.
It was away with COVID, right? Right. So, but Twitter of all platforms. That's
the platform, though. We have to, when. So
wait, hold on. It all leads to a bigger place. So goes as opposed to coming out and just talking to the nation,
right?
Special, like special report. Joe Biden interrupted everything and just talking. Didn't do none of that. So now I'm going to do Twitter or X, which is like how we communicate nowadays, right? Well, it's a letter on his stationery signed, right? And then homeboy was like, well, he heard, my Barry got up in there, big O, was like, Joe, the donors is gone. Kamala already said she down. We already got her on board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's over, whether you like it or not. And this letter is written by you. It's going out. And if you say you didn't, we're going to say you forgot. We're going to say you did write it. You just forgot. He's like, so whether you like this and then we ain't see. Remember, he beat COVID, but we ain't see him for a little. He was down low, talking about people was like, yo, I heard he don't fuck with Nancy Pelosi no more, all this shit. Nothing coming out. And I'm like, yo, he might have strong on my God.
Well, no, it's not a might. I mean, he was kicked out. I mean, there's no but there's no different than, when, I don't know if that Secret Service lady stepped down or not. Like, if you mess up, there's going to be pressure on. We'll give you the opportunity to say you stepped down, but you know what this is.
So I say all that to say, I think they gave Mark Zuckerberg the same deal. Like, you could devalue it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But you gonna take it down.
No. We put that pressure on. We'll present it to you. Here are your options, but you know what you need to do.
It's like the mafia.
Right. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it.
Which is why I think he's coming out and trying to, say it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that.
This happens. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Anybody who believes it doesn't happen, you're just lying to yourself.
But I think that it's necessary.
But it happens in politics. It happens in businesses. I mean, that's just the way things work.
It's necessary.
Sometimes it is necessary because sometimes our human nature can be a little too, I don't know what the appropriate term, but Joe, it was clear he had no business running, but he was stubborn. So
you got to make the decision for him.
Right.
And then I like how they flipped it at the DNC, like, a true patriot.
Best president we had. Like,
stepping down for I'm like,
you did this for us. We love you.
But yeah, man, Zuckerberg shining a light on them, man. Keep your head up and your eyes open, man. What it do, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy. Just interrupting real quick, man. I really appreciate you watching this episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. You got to run them numbers up so I can keep running it up. Also, if you're listening to the audio version on the podcast, make sure you leave a review. Let them know how much you love the podcast and, subscribe to the thing. And if you really, really want to support the team, go to www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sticker. You can even get yourself a mug, man. The possibilities are endless and the prices are low. Holla at us, baby. Let's get it. Next up, man, I got my guy Spec in the building. It's been a minute since we talked, so it's time for a new segment that we got here called Since We Spoke.
Okay. But
this is the relationship edition, right? Because Spec, you've been in a a healthy relationship from my standpoint for 20 years now. Oh, like maybe 20 plus, right?
It is 20.
20 years, right? And I've been in some bad relationships, you know what I'm saying? So I think with our knowledge together, we may be able to give these celebrities some advice. I don't want to just be up here gossiping. We're not that type of podcast. So-and-so dating someone's, you know what I mean? We don't do that. Let's actually try to help these people out. And the first one that I'm going to bring to the table since we spoke, I don't know if you heard about what's been going on with Kehlani, but basically it was a few weeks ago, her baby daddy, they have a 5-year-old together, came out and was like, Kehlani's in a sex cult, and she's got my 5-year-old daughter around the ringleader who's doing some wild stuff, you know what I'm saying? Go do your research, but basically putting on some wild accusations on him. And this was like, and I want full custody. This came out of nowhere. And it was like, people was just like, this is weird. It's just because we
the
never
sex
know.
cult piece, or what piece is weird?
I just think the way he went about it.
Okay.
Just filing for custody, then claiming to be a sex cult. But then throwing on like extra stuff, like, I guess, and I don't pay enough attention to Kehlani as an artist,
right.
who really knows what's going on in her life. But like, I guess this dude is Kehlani, and apologize in advance. I don't know what pronouns you use, Kehlani, and we probably gonna mess them up. But we was born in the 80s.
There you go.
So don't take it personal. But so with that being said, I think Kehlani is bisexual, maybe.
Okay.
And this dude was told that this is a gay dude, but they like a gay friend of hers, and they decided to have a kid together.
Wait. So the dude is gay, but he had a baby with Kehlani?
Yeah, because she didn't want to have a kid, but she isn't necessarily attracted to men anymore.
Okay, I got you.
And so she wanted to do it with a friend.
Gotcha.
How they went about it, I don't.
Okay.
That's for them to know. My homie's like, nah, that ain't true. I ain't gay. Which is like, would you for 5 years you let her call you her gay best friend, and then now it's like, and homie's coming out and saying he ain't gay. Remember, that's an important part of the story. Remember that part. So Kehlani then comes out, talking about lawsuits is about to happen. People is talking about all types of stuff about my name. You know what I mean? Let's get it back. She must have got her lawyers on him, because homeboy came back out and was like, yo, TMZ, took my words and spun them out of control. I didn't say nothing about no cult. I didn't say nothing about this. That. So she got a little shook, right? But then I think he remembered he got receipts. Because the next day, he's like, you know what? Nah. Let me tell y'all how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? And decides like he about to just out them all. He got all types of stuff showing her like as being physically abusive. So basically, he said that, this is what the story came out. I think he lives in her back house, whatever that means. She got a big house. She must have a back house. He lives in the back house, but they on the same land. So, because that came out because eventually she filed a restraining order and he can't be within 100 feet.
Okay.
So, but the dude live in the back house. She claims that the back house is where he do mushrooms, smoke weed, do weird religious things back there. Every time the baby come from the back house, the baby smell like weed. There's all types of stuff going on, right? So it's like they kind of just trying to dirty each other up. You know what I'm saying? Dirty the mud. And then I think what it seems like is that he wanted to get assistance, even though I don't know if she pays him to live back there. I don't know how this works, or if maybe just hit the situation of him living back there is, I don't know how they work it out.
Right.
But he needed more. So my man went and got assistance and then claimed the baby on the assistance, right? And I just know this because I've been through this personally. Because they're not going to give him assistance if he's claiming that he got the baby and they know she got the baby. And she's a celebrity. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they like, well, how does this work out? Like, why isn't she?
And when you say, you mean like public assistance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how Kehlani found out about it. She said that's how she was informed. Like so she said that because they contacted her and she went to the back house and started raising hell. Like, what are you trying to claim assistance? These people trying to get in my pockets now? Whatever happened there was an altercation of some sort. She kicked him in the house, kicked in the door, whatever the case may be. Now she's claiming that he was the more aggressor. He's claiming, I'll read one of his texts. So he showed her text, right? And he's saying that she busted through her own door in the frame and is trying to like frame him as being the one doing the abuse. And he's like, I have the paper trail. Sad that she's resorted to lying. And he posts in his stories a text between them. And she's like, Javon, Next text was call me now, like ASAP. And then she texts again, emergency. I keep trying to call and it's going to voicemail. He finally texts back, I begged you to leave me alone. I begged you that I didn't want to speak. I ran from your room into the back house. You followed me and barged through the door. I asked you repeatedly that I did not want to talk to you. You said you have to speak to your co-parent. I ran into the bathroom. I said, no, I don't. Please stop. I said, please leave me alone. Because I knew what you were about to do. I said, I am packing. You kept coming. You wanted us to be homeless in the morning. And it goes on. But he's basically texting her, and then she's not really denying it.
Okay.
She's on some like, because he also threatens her at some point. Is like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go, hold on, I'll read the text to you. He's like, I'm going to give you a chance to retract your statement. The one where she's talking about how she's about to sue because everybody's lying. So I'm going to give you a chance to retract your statement before I post everything. And she responds, I'm calling you. I was in rehearsal. Then she goes, I can retract. It's been a 6-hour rehearsal. And then she drops to something in her statement. I did not make a statement nor go to TMZ about my business. Basically, taking back everything she said. Now, this is messy. Now, whatever these kids are going through, we feel bad. Because they've reached a point where now he's trying to paint her as being in a cult of some sort. There's a 5-year-old that's old enough to kind of like start catching on to beef with their parents, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what advice do you have for these crazy kids? I
mean, for those two in particular, they just got to separate. I mean,
stay away from each other, right?
Yeah, because it's clearly it's not a good situation, and for y'all to be around each other, it's only going to make things worse for the child at the end of the day, and it's not healthy for the child. So if y'all can't get along, y'all need to separate. It's literally that simple. I mean, I don't know, what they're definitely both the parents of that child, right? Like, there's no question in that. So, I mean,
from what I understand, like he's a good father, not social media good, in the sense of like he'll post with his kid. Yeah. I don't know if he's actually a good father,
so
but he's around his kid enough to take pictures with him, is what I'm saying.
Y'all need to, unfortunately, whether it's get the courts involved to figure out a custody situation or whatever the case may be, but it's over at this point. Y'all probably should have never had a kid together to begin with, but shit happens.
There's certain, you don't do things with friends. Like, I get it. You're like, this is a friend, but I think you're using that as a crutch. Yeah. Right? You're supposed to have there's no who you're supposed to have a kid with, but also you could have went to a donor.
Right.
You could have went to a facility and had no one. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's sad to say, but having a kid with someone, like a marriage, is a business deal. Because you will be held for financial responsibility if you don't. So
if this isn't your like bestie, like y'all don't really, if y'all really know each other, y'all been together for a while, and that's your real friend, similar to like a relationship, you don't just have a kid with anybody, you vet these people, and so you gotta make better decisions, people. I understand, even if you're a woman, obviously there's a biological clock, you want a child, obviously, there's sperm banks. If you want to do it with somebody in a co-parenting setting, vet these people appropriately better. Like, make some better decisions, because at the end of the day, the only one that's going to be hurt is the child.
100%. And like, also, I think if you're going to get into this deal, Kehlani, you're the celebrity. You're the money. So you're going to always be a liability, because now this person could just air your dirty laundry. You gotta always, no one cares if you aired his dirty laundry.
Right, because he's a nobody.
This is only a story because you're involved. And it's like, you gotta compensate that dude to keep him, like, for lack of anything, just to keep him happy. You gotta make sure, and whether she is or she hasn't, that's they know that.
Right.
You gotta make sure you're always gonna be beholden to this person.
Right.
Which is another reason why you probably would have been better off maybe going to a facility of some sort. Because I don't want to get Republican on y'all, but these situations are made for families. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you shouldn't be in these situations if you're not part of the traditional, what we consider to be a family, but it's also it is made for a family structure. It doesn't mean it can't be done alone, and it can't be done co-parenting wise, but ideally that's probably not what we should be trying to
accomplish.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're seeing the other side of it, Kehlani. And it's a sad lesson learned. My advice, expect to get away from each other. And my advice would be like, you can't do these type of interactions.
We see this too often. I mean, with women, and I put it on women because at the end of the day, men are gonna always be men. Men are
trying to take y'all rights away.
And I'm just saying, like,
rights away.
Men are dumb, and the women have the power. And y'all need to wake up, grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got the power. What Captain Planet used to say, the power is yours. Like, come on, ladies.
Wait, what you mean? Like, specifically?
Like, they need to have better standards. Like, they just...
Because you know what I don't like when we generalize. So, like, get specific if you could. Like, what do you mean?
So, generally speaking, right, these women, like, all right, you like a certain type of man, I get it. But you should not be having babies with a certain type of man that ultimately at the end of the day is a fuckboy. Like, because you already know where that's going to lead. It's not an opinion, it's a fact, right? You've seen the same story 100 times, it's going to be 101st time. It's not going to be any different for you. And so you shouldn't be telling yourself this. You mess with an F-boy, that's what it's going to be down the line at some point. Period. And so you shouldn't be doing that to yourself or your child.
Yeah. And in Kehlani's situation, it's hard.
And don't say I didn't know he was an F-boy. Yeah. The signs are all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that was really your best friend. You had to see some type of like,
Come on now.
And the other thing, I don't know about him specifically. Some of the behavior that he's exhibited wouldn't surprise me if he suffers from some type of mental illness or sort. But Kehlani has admitted that she does. And like, that's a volatile situation to get into, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she's
that's why I believe the violence piece or like the broken door and all of that.
Because and these people are young. They're younger than us, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn at a young age, like, you kind of got to stay away from that type of thing because you invite that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? And if both of y'all are suffering from something, then that's definitely a really volatile situation that, and there's a kid involved. Yeah. You got to keep reminding yourself that there's a kid involved. The bigger picture is the kid. You know what I'm saying? And I heard it recently this week for the first time. We always say, like, Kim Kardashian's kids are eventually going to grow up and see the tape. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pam Anderson's kids. Or, anybody, you know what I'm saying? But for the first time, I actually heard it. And it wasn't even in, like, a shameful way. It was Eminem's daughter. She has a podcast now, Haley. And she was talking about 2 songs on his new album that are dedicated to, it was her, and I think it was like his niece or that was their family situation, and it was hard for her to watch. But she's like, I can't watch it again, the music videos, and she was like, it just was like for me to know that was going on while I was a kid. It was really a testament to how much my parents sheltered me away from that type of stuff. But it's like. And I bring that back to like when you do things that are shameful, your kids are going to experience that in some way, shape, or form. Whether they search for it or not. If you told me right now, my parents were famous for like a 5-year period, I'm gonna Google it. Right. So you think that they're not gonna chat GPT it? They're gonna look it up, and it's unfortunately you can't filter what's gonna come through on that search. Right. So you gotta filter how you act in real life. That's the only advice I got for y'all. But no, the Eminem one was because like. That's got to be like, she was like, she had to know her dad had struggles, but to the extent, you know what I'm saying, now seeing it and Eminem is such a lyricist / artist that, the visuals to these videos are real, they're jarring, you know what I'm saying? So I get why she had an emotional effect by that. And it really made me think, like, all these people acting the fool nowadays is like, your kids is going to look at this. Like, just whether you like it or not. Like, I'm reaching a point now, my kid is in different programs. She goes to school. I can't shout. She's like us comes on, and she's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like this is my jam kind of. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? But it makes me realize I can't shelter everything. There's gonna be different things that they're exposed to. And
once they leave the house, that's it. Like,
so. And if you out here acting the fool, they're going to be exposed to that. So just know how you act on the internet. But moving on. Next one. What advice do we got for YG and Saweetie? Did you know YG and Saweetie were like a little...
Yeah, they've been together for maybe almost a year now.
Okay, I was late to the party finding out about this. I think I kind of caught on because cops, they weren't called in terms of like to make an arrest, but I think they did hear noise coming from a house. I believe it might be YG's, a house in LA, and they had to respond to it. It was a altercation over a cell phone. Someone took someone's cell phone. They want to give
between them two.
Between Sweetie and YG. That's what I was like. Oh, they a thing.
You already know what that's about. Who are these hoes you talking to?
No, well, you would think that, right? But then, following that, I want to find it. Hold on. My guy YG went to the, the Instagram.
Went to the internet.
Went to the internet. You know what I mean? I think that's how this all. Everything he's down for is going to the internet and post. I'm gonna show it to you, Spec. Post a lion and a cheetah. It's the emojis. It's a lion and a cheetah.
What's that supposed to mean?
People think lion ass cheetah.
Oh, a lion
ass cheetah.
Wow. Okay.
The internet got too much time.
Lion and a cheetah. Nice.
I wouldn't even put that together. You know what I'm saying? But they like lion, and then it was because it was on the heels of the altercation. That we had, the cops was there. Lion, cheetah.
Okay, I like that. I can see that.
So then when people started speculating online, he took a little while. It took a day or two. You know what I'm saying? He let that live for a little bit, and he goes. He responds. I think on it was on the comments of. I want to say the Shade Room. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me. But he hopped in the comments. Was like, I was at the zoo with my kids. Stop the cat. I was at the zoo with my kids. So maybe they're back on better terms.
Okay.
Who knows? Well, what advice do you got for these these crazy kids?
The only advice I have for them is just don't have no kids together. That's it. I mean, as long as kids don't get involved, do whatever the fuck you want. Y'all young, you know what I'm saying? Nothing needs to be that serious,
well, cops shouldn't be showing up. I think that.
Well, I don't know what happened, if there was an argument and things of that nature.
No one got arrested, which is a good sign, which means there was a certain or someone did like homeboy in the back house and made a run for it. But whatever the case may be, no one got arrested. So that was a positive. But I think my advice would be to stay off the internet.
I mean,
we gotta know.
So I have no hope for that, because it just seems that's just what people do nowadays. So.
Lion, cheetah.
But certainly, I mean, if you can avoid staying off, do so.
Yo, please do for your own sanity. You know what was crazy?
We don't need to know like the ins and outs of y'all people's lives. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted. If you put it out there, I'm gonna read it. But keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be a level of peace and like. Have something for yourself. Everything ain't for us fans, I guess.
I can't, you know what? And I don't want to judge it because I'm not at the level of anyone that I hear complaining about this stuff. They get a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can ignore comments. I don't get that many. You know what I'm saying? I can ignore, but I don't. Even the ones I get, I actually do read. So I can't tell them not to read their comments.
Right.
But it was like, and we're gonna talk about her in another story. But I was listening to TLC member T-Boz on the radio, and she was talking to Breakfast Club. It was about a 20-minute interview, and about 4 times in the interview, she was like, and all them people online that want to say, and all them people online that got jokes, and it's just like, who are you talking? And they said in the interview, they was like, we don't hear none of this. This is the first time we hearing you telling us this stuff. And so I'm like, what is your algorithm showing you, first of all? She's like, she did an ad for Glad, the company that makes, cleaning products and trash. She's like, and people were like, you embarrassing yourself. I'm like, yo, why are you responding to these people? Like but I think there's gotta be something inherently to, cause like, I know another podcast I listen to that she hired a company to do her social media work. She's like, I'm so at peace now, I don't see the comments. You know what I mean? I don't get it.
I think it's a human. I think it's easy. Like I can sit here and say I don't get it, but I think that's easy because I'm not in it. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're a celebrity, especially of a certain era, and you're big on social media, I guess you read the comments. You want to feel connected to your supporters, I guess, and as human beings, I think we're wired to hyper focus on the negative,
right? Yeah,
and kind of like, you know, positive. Oh, it should be like that, I guess. But negative. Oh, how dare you?
Yeah. You of all people, this person, you 100% right. And from my analytical standpoint, I'm finding like I'm analytical. But we was just looking at YouTube numbers. That's why. But remember how we was looking at the test and it was inconclusive? That's what I would think. Every test is inconclusive. It's like, because I'm not going to sit here and read 100 comments.
Right.
So if I see, I'm going to read 10, right? And let's say 7 of them were negative. I don't know if that's a representation of all 100.
Right.
And that could just be the 7 that the algorithm is like, this nigga love negative comments. So
this is what we gonna show.
I don't know. That's like, for me to assume that that's the it's the reason, same reason I don't trust polls. It's the same reason I don't trust trolls, because you're like, oh, everyone online feels like that. No, that's the people who don't got nothing. They wrote that on 5 other people's pages.
But now that you bring that up, I think that's the reason why now we've gotten to the point where, like, for instance, Congress is trying to censor social media because of the way it plays on our natural human instincts and thoughts, and like it could be bad.
Like T-Boz said she's 54 years old. I'm like, you worry about comments?
That's what, I mean, at that age, you shouldn't be connected to it like that. But
maybe she, but I don't know the connection. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't. That's not crazy. I won't call it crazy. Just because I don't subscribe to something, I'm not gonna call it crazy. But it's a very interesting social experiment to see how it affects people, and it's another reason why I'm like, oh, it ain't no like my kid turned this age, they get a phone. My kid turned this age, they should be on. No, I'm holding on to 18. I don't know how long I'm holding on to it, but I'm holding on to it. You might see me crack on a couple of episodes now, but I'm holding on to 18, bro, because I really don't think you need it. I don't think I want my kid to be more like activities and stuff than to be staring at a phone and all that. And then getting emotional about it, that should really be messing with them.
It does, big time.
I'm like, get off the phone. Like, that's why you feeling sad right now. It's just, they know you like that for some reason. Ah, man, but moving on, man. Before we get out of this Since We Spoke segment, Young Miami finally spoke out about Diddy after months of silence. Oh, okay. She returned to her Carisha Please podcast, TV show.
Is that still on Revolt?
It's still on Revolt. Okay. Ironically, but Diddy he's not any type of way. They're like, no, we keeping this. This intellectual possible. But, no, it's a lot of people were getting at her because she wasn't speaking out. And I'll read what she says. She said when the Cassie video had first dropped, and people were like, well, why haven't she said anything? She was like, I can't speak on something that wasn't my experience, and I can't speak on something that I don't know. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. She also made it very clear to say that wasn't her experience.
And I felt like he brought out another side of me. Like, he brought out, like, my gypsy side. Like, my woman side. Like, it was, like, a lot of things that I didn't see in me that he brought out of me. Like, baby girl, you more than music. You an icon. You a motherfucking mogul. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, put God first. Make sure you keep God with everything that you do. But I just felt like when all of these things came out, I just needed to take a break and focus on what's important. It was just me and my career. You just thought that you had something, and it wasn't that, because I think the same thing with him. Like, he didn't expect to fall in love with me, because we did end up falling in love with each other. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like, it's just everything that's going on. Like, I don't want to get caught up in that, and I just need a moment to just pour into me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which I think is the right thing to do. Like, although she did break up with him, or they went their separate ways, from what it was said. But it seems like around that time was the catalyst of it happening. That isn't no one's situation. This is just like, he's toxic at that point. Like, what could you do? What are you going to come out? And I respect her for not coming out.
Well, I mean, what if it had nothing to do with her? What is she gonna? What do you want her to do? What do you want her to talk about? Like, people just want hear everybody's opinions on everything. Like, shit got nothing to do with me. Why am I gonna speak on it?
She also said that she met Diddy when the world was celebrating him, which is true, and was giving him flowers while he was still alive. So she was celebrating him with the world, and just felt like everyone was crucifying her for it. I mean, people were, but it's just like, I didn't think nothing was weird about the way that she behaved. Now, my whole thing though, right, is like, there will be more stuff coming out about Diddy. I don't think this stops. It just, they're like,
well, I think so. Like, allegedly, because the FBI doing investigation, she was one of his like paid
drug mules.
Well, no, I don't know about that piece, but like not sex worker, but like he pays her, and I mean she's with him, and so she's kind of like a sex worker, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so I know there's that piece. That piece came out throughout this investigation. But again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Y'all two consenting adults. If somebody want to offer me money for my meat and I'm good with that, that's cool. I'm an adult.
Yeah, that was the working I think
that's a working relationship. I mean, if you.
But no, so that's really common.
That is. There's nothing. I mean, I have no problem with it. I'll just leave it at that. Like, I don't have a problem with I have a problem with underage prostitution and shit like that, obviously. Trafficking children, things. But a grown adult, if a grown adult makes a decision to sell their body, that's their decision.
Was it that he was pimping her out?
No, I think she was with him.
With him,
but,
like a sugar daddy.
And she wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
And so, I mean...
He had a kid during the time when they were together.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I mean...
But was he paying her on the books? Like, how do they track that, is what I'm wondering.
I don't know, but...
Motherfucker cutting checks.
But the point is, I mean, it was her, another girl, and that's fine. I don't gotta. Somebody
50,
should not.
50's baby moms.
50's baby Daphne. Okay. People shouldn't be ridiculed for stuff like that. Two consenting adults, they can consent to whatever the hell they want to do. I would have
thought she was kind of corny if she would have came out and made a statement. It's like, unless she experienced something of that, then speak about it. But I'm like, you turned your back on him that quick. Not to say that he should be defended, but it's like, if her of all people. Other people coming out and say what you gonna speak your experiences. I would have thought it'd be really weird if she would have made a statement at that time. I'd have been like, yo, that girl is wow. Right. that girl ain't living her raps, yo.
I mean, there you go. I mean, that too. So it's like, I mean, I don't know what that.
I guess maybe that's why that doesn't surprise me, because I'm like,
isn't
that what she's talking about? Like, I would hope, not hope so, but it's just like, I don't. You know what's weird is I think I spoke about this enough times on the show, but like I don't like that. Like, I like female rap. I don't like hoe rap. If that makes that is wild to me. That's like a genre of just like, you pay me enough, you can get this. Like, that's it's a weird genre.
Well, no. So here's why I don't mind it, because like I was just saying, like, women. Right? I don't like hoes. And when I say a hoe, like, if you're gonna be out here letting, dudes be all up in you, you better get something out that. Like, don't just be letting dudes get all up in you for nothing, for no reason. Like,
you view it more as empowering.
If you're going to choose to be that girl, get something out of it. Like, and I can say that about anything. Yeah. Like, if you're going to choose to be a porn, like, be the biggest one. If you're going to choose to do whatever, go hard, get something out of it, make it beneficial for yourself, whatever you choose to do. Yeah. So I look at that situation the same way. I don't like.
She described it like that. She said it was mutually beneficial. She knew that he was getting props for walking around with the 20-something-year-old or however she is, you know what I mean? Hot chick at the moment.
So I don't mind that. As long as it's beneficial to yourself, rock out. Like, I will support you if it's benefiting you. So the whole rap, I don't mind. Like, dudes been hoeing girls out since the beginning of time. So I don't mind when females turn the tables and doing the same things that the dude's been doing forever.
That's true. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Like, maybe I'm misogynistic in my.
I mean, but also you have a daughter, so like when I look at it from that perspective, like, do I want my daughter? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but that's the catch-22 that I think that we play with music, and I hate to do it to hip hop of all things. It's entertainment. There's television shows about everything. Yes. There's books about everything. Control what your kid is exposed to. Radio's hard because you're in the car. You got to listen to something. But, you know what I'm saying? So it's like in the morning, we'll just like put on morning, even like what I think we would rate as a PG morning show, you get a little like, all right, come on, my kid's in the back seat, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but that's what they have to do. That.
Yeah.
That's what makes people listen to morning radio. We grew up on Howard Stern and Star and Buck Wild.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that. Change the channel. I can change the channel. I don't have to let my kid listen to insert female artist here that I think is pushing a negative message. But back to what we said earlier, I think I'm just mad that it exists in the ether, and there's hours of the day that I can't control what she's exposed to, and this is out there. And I guess that makes me have to work harder when I'd rather be podcasting. Damn it, Young Miami. But we're going to move on to the next segment we got here on Perfect Talk Podcast, and that is Have You Heard? I hear stories in the news. I bring it to my guy Spec, and he lets me know if he heard. You heard about Irv Gotti?
Irv, no.
Oh, yeah, dope. All right, good. I guess. But, Whack 100. You're familiar with Whack 100,
Yeah.
right? Well, that's why what is Whack 100 thing? He's like the game, right?
I mean, he's not a rapper.
Not the game. The rapper, the game. Isn't he related to him in some way, shape, or form in terms of?
They're like gang brothers.
Is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was like management of him or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're connected like business wise.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And that's how Whack 100 kind of like blew up. But like he does interviews and podcasts and things of that nature. And he was on one this week, and he was like, "You heard about Irv Gotti?" And the dude was like, "What happened to Irv Gotti?" And he was like,
keeping up. It's none of the raps, huh? With old Irv Gotti.
What happened with Irv?
Oh my God. Let me check Google.
How I missed that?
Don't you have like a lawsuit or something, my chick?
No, let me miss Google. Let me hear. I might have just said some that don't nobody know.
You Whack, you cutting up, ain't you?
Very likely was. Very well.
You've been cutting up lately.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they ain't mentioned it. Up. Here's what it is. I hadn't already said this shit. Irv Gotti had a stroke.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all see what he looked like.
You got the picture?
Yeah, I got everything.
Whack, you got yo. Somebody, where's R&B? You need to take your phone.
I got everything. I got the guy down there at the Stroke Recovery Center. This gonna f y'all up. New Yorkers, y'all in here?
Hold on. Let me ping Zine before you post it. Hold on.
There you go. Irv Gotti had a stroke. You see the walker and all that. Lost a lot of weight.
Do you read the headlines and stuff before you even come with her?
I mean, bro, people send me all the shit. I don't be realizing. The people, I get people from all around the world.
he had a stroke. He was like, he's like they sent me this from the rehab facility. They sent me this, and he pulls up a picture. I'll show it to you. Which is violating all types of HIPAA laws.
Damn.
All type of HIPAA laws being violated right now, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, so it sucks to see Irv Gotti like that. I mean, we grew up watching Irv Gotti do drugs and travel the world and own the music industry for like maybe 5 years. Murder Inc. was holding it down for a while. You know what I'm saying? Before the wave of 50 Cent came in, and 50 Cent ain't gonna pass up an opportunity. 50 Cent ain't about to pass up an opportunity, dog. And he hits the comments on a Whack 100 picture, and he goes, "Damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie.
What the fuck happened to you?"
Goes, "I want Irv to get well so he can have to watch my next wave." Damn. LOL. Don't sit well with me. It does not sit well.
What, 50's comment?
Yeah, making fun of anybody's suffering. Yeah. Yes, but specifically in this situation, 50's comment, yes. None of this is well with me. The people taking pictures of him at the rehab facility, it's a stroke, dog. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? And then Whack 100 put it out there. It's just bad energy to put out in the world, man. Like, cause it's one thing if a dude, Diddy's downfall seems kind of inflicted. A stroke, you don't control. You know what I mean? Like, all right, maybe Irv Gotti did too much partying and maybe that might, you know what I'm saying? But they actually came out, they said he has diabetes. Something he suffers from. And he had this stroke actually 6 months ago.
Okay.
Irv Gotti's people felt like they had to make a comment, but they not happy. And they came out and was speaking about it and says Irv has been struggling with diabetes for years, which caused him to have a minor stroke over 6 months ago. He has since changed his diet and is eating more healthy. He's been successful in making a full recovery. Irv is not in a rehab facility. He is at home with his family enjoying life. I don't believe it because I think Irv Gotti would have hopped in front of a camera if we know Irv Gotti instead of his own self, which just makes it a little sadder because it's like he might still be suffering. You know what I'm saying? And Irv Gotti wants to come out and he would come out and tell
right.
Like, what are you talking about? He would have quoted himself. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't have been an issue. So I don't like that energy, man. it's funny for Twitter comments and Instagram comments.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's funny. Certainly
in the vein of people are mean.
Right.
Yeah. I don't mean funny in the sense of I don't find it funny. But did I cut you up?
No.
But yeah, it's funny in the sense of like it fits in with the mean comments. But I am of the belief that you put a certain energy on yourself. Like Fifth's grandfather just passed away.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and a lot of people know how close he was with his grandfather. Right. So like the comments I seen was all, like
love.
Yeah.
Okay.
That don't mean everyone was. You got enemies out there. I'm sure somebody might have said something stupid in the comments. Who knows? But I just don't like perpetuating that. You don't gotta make fun of everybody's.
Yeah.
But 50's on board.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I kind of expect,
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like, but this is what he does, and he'll be an enemy forever. So you can expect this forever.
Because I don't think 50 needs it anymore.
He doesn't need it. Like it's just about what he does.
On the precipice of $1 billion. Talking about, don't tell nobody. He's trying to publicize. And we seen 50 come up from the gutter. We seen him have the bankruptcy for whatever reasons, you know what I mean? And then bouncing back, obviously, to where he's at now. It's not I like when you come out with a new show. I like that you did a festival out in Shreveport, even though he caught flack for that. Hurricane Chris hating on him. And so it's just like, you can't win, but it's just like, I don't need the Michael Williams, Omar from the Wire passes. I don't need you in the comments. Like, that to me is like, you passed that now. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would hope so. So, to each his own, you know what I mean? But shout out to Irv Gotti, however you feel about him. Definitely, thoughts and prayers and have a speedy recovery. Sure. One thing I always give Irv props for, man, is I remember when Irv was on trial for the feds. And he was like, they got a 98% win rate. He's like, and I went up against. I remember I didn't know what the hell 300 was. I remember, like the commercials. He was just talking about this movie 300. He's like, Spartans, because he went to the radio station. He's like, I took on the Fed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, beat him. Irv Gotti will always be like, yo, he in that 2%, that 1.5%, man. He took on the Feds and beat him. But thoughts and prayers definitely to Irv Gotti. Sure. And then another one, I was talking about T-Boz earlier. She had to give a health update because she had to cancel shows. She canceled the show in Syracuse an hour before it started. Got to Syracuse, had something to eat, and sister threw up like 5 times. I had a crazy stomach pain. It was like the worst pain she ever had. Thought it was food poisoning. Went to the hospital, so she and found out something else. So she came out and finally made a statement because a lot of people were upset that she canceled the show an hour before it happened. I think Usher did something like that recently too. It's like it's something serious if they cancel an hour like that close to the thing. So, but people aren't happy about that because they made plans obviously. So people was probably in the comments. So she's like, I gotta come out. I gotta come out and let y'all know about my health status. But she wrote last evening. Her representative wrote last evening. Tion was diagnosed with a severe abdominal blockage necessitating the cancellation of both the Syracuse and Foxville performances. She remains in hospital under medical supervision, but is expected to be released tomorrow. The doctor verified it's not food poisoning, but an abdominal blockage. And why I thought this was important to say, because she says it's from her C-section, which was over 20 years ago, right? That the scar tissue caused her intestine to kink and caused a blockage, and it actually was able to I think she didn't have to have the surgery, it was able to fix itself, but she was like, ton of men that have abdominal surgeries have this, and obviously a lot of women that have C-sections suffer from this, and she was like, a lot of older people will have it. It'd be like 40 years ago they had surgery, and then something like that could pop up. So she was like, she was really more so doing it not only to quiet the haters, but definitely to
educate.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have ever thought that a C-section could turn into.
I would call cap on that. Without, you know what I'm saying? But okay, hope she's all right.
No, and that's obviously something serious. So it's like, she said people have died from what she went through. I remember when in the interview she had said that But yeah, I can imagine because some people don't know what it is.
You can die from an dopamine blockage for sure.
Yeah, but they don't know what it is, right? They're thinking it's something else, and they're treating something else. And then she also shut down claims that she's on Ozempic, and obviously she suffers from sickle cell, which we've known for years. So a lot of people assumed it was that. Right. She was like, it's not nothing to do with my sickle cell. She's like, I still have issues with sickle cell from time to time. She's like, I don't run to the news every time I'm dealing with something with sickle cell to tell y'all, but this was something she felt was important to educate people something about. And I'm like, give these artists grace. I know it sucks. You got a babysitter that night. You know what I'm saying? You got your best clothes on. If they cancel the show an hour,
especially if they older artists,
let's mention her age again. 54 years old. Give her props for going out there though and really doing that. But yeah, to that point, she also said she thinks she's gonna retire from performing in about a year or so. She's like, it's having an effect on her body and everything like that. But definitely something, she wanted to put out there. But yes, definitely thoughts and prayers for T-Boz. I'm glad that she's back on it. Get out them comments, though. I think them comments are stressing you out, baby girl.
For real.
And you know what I'm saying? I know it's hard, but you ain't gotta clap back at everybody, man. Spec, have you heard after what Republicans will call weeks and months of avoiding the media, Kamala Harris decided to finally do an interview with CNN. Who did she do it with? Dana Bash, right?
Yeah.
Dana Bash. Sat down with Dana Bash. You get a chance to check it out?
I did.
What were your thoughts on the first interview done by the vice president since taking over the election from Joe Biden?
I mean, I wasn't. There was nothing eye-opening, groundbreaking that she said. She sounded competent, which is important. And I didn't think she ducked many questions. She answered them. I'm looking forward to the debate in a couple weeks to see what that's going to be about. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was she didn't say anything eye-opening, so to speak.
She gave a really good.
I already know who I'm gonna vote for, so it's just one of those things. Whatever.
Yeah.
Say what you want at this point.
I think she gave a really boring interview, which is actually what Donald Trump came. That was his comment on it. Boring. I'm like, that's what politics is supposed to be.
Yeah, politics should be boring.
I think they've been making some missteps since Donald Trump got shot. I don't know if they got him shook or what the case may be, but they made this interview primetime television. The Republicans did by saying, "Oh, she's ducking the media. She don't want to." They made it more like everybody that seen it was like, "This was uneventful." And it was like, "Yeah, it's supposed to be." Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they made it primetime television, and it's like, yeah, she's gonna be able to answer questions. Now I didn't like that she did it with Waltz. It's not a deal breaker, obviously, for me, but it's like you don't need the white bodyguard. You know what I'm saying? Next to you, that was a little weird in a sense, but. Also, some people argued, they don't know Waltz enough. She just introduced them, and they have a very small window to obviously do all their campaigning. So let's get it all in as quick as possible. But I think the Republicans is just slipping by everything JD Vance do, they get clowned. You know what I'm saying? But for him to be like, she's ducking the media, it's like, oh yeah, she is. So finally, everyone wants to sit down and see what she finally got to say, and it's like, y'all made it primetime television. Like y'all doing her promo for her. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And also, I like that she's not gonna get into the mud.
Yeah, no.
The Donald Trump questions about her identity were brought up, and next question.
Very simple, same old playbook.
Yeah, let's move on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we know what you want. You want the clickbait, and we're not giving you that.
Right.
Which is look. I don't love Kamala Harris. I'm not just gonna love her because they were put in front of us. But she's not Donald Trump, which is the best thing she got going for her. It's like I don't need my president's getting shot at. I don't need the nonsense. I don't need the antics. I don't need everything to be a headline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna trust the attorney general, politician.
Don't get it twisted. Trump makes me laugh. He's funny. He's good. For an interview, but
I don't need 4 years. Yeah. Easy now. You know what I'm saying? So it's. Yeah, the political field is in an interesting place to see where it's at. I need boring. I need boring from my politicians. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? The polls are obviously saying that neck and neck, but she's obviously caught up the ground that Joe Biden was losing.
Right.
And do you feel that same excitement since the RNC? No, excuse me, the DNC.
I mean, so for me, it's never really a thing of excitement.
Yeah.
And also, I learned in 2016 with Trump, you can't even trust the polls.
Yeah.
And so when I see the polls, those don't really mean anything to me. Now, what I do take from them, as long as you see somebody polling, I know it's going to be a tight race.
Yeah.
That's what I know, and I believe that. And I take that from the polling numbers more than anything. But just because, she has a slight lead, I don't look at that, oh, she's going to be president or anything like that. You can't trust the polls from that standpoint. But, I'll say this. Like, if you would have talked to me, and we did talk about her, like, last time. She's in a better place, in my opinion, today than I thought she would been, when we spoke about it 2 months ago.
Why is that?
Well, because one.
Where did you think she would be? And then.
Well, so the last time when we did our last show, Biden was still the nominee, and the discussion was, will the party embrace Kamala if Biden were to ever step down?
Yeah, there was a lot of hesitation.
And because are we ready for a black female? Are we ready for a female president? Are we ready for a black female president?
Throw Indian in there too.
And then, 2 months ago, I just would have said, no. Like, I would have said confidently, no. But today, I'm more hopeful. You think the country
or personally you are?
No, the country. Like, personally, like, I voted for Hillary. So, I believe women are the key to our salvation. So, for me,
I'm glad you said that. I think that's more of a black thing.
What?
Or maybe more of a non-white thing, I should say. Like, I think we have more confidence in women than white people do. Like, I don't get that. Because I don't know. Like, I think when we see mothers run households, we've seen them take on.
That's a very
so it's like a woman in a leadership role isn't foreign to me. Whereas
versus
I think they doubt
the white man,
the white man,
because it's white men. Like, this country was run by white men, and so from that perspective, a woman. No, it needs to be a man.
When it's like, maybe y'all could.
Whereas from our perspective,
if y'all embraced them, but y'all like.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I never even thought about that.
As a party, even being a Republican woman in the party, I'm like, do y'all hear what they said?
Yeah.
It don't sound like they respect y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me,
that is true.
It's a little weird. So it's just like, I don't know where that comes from. Like, but
I mean, you just said. I mean, I never even looked at it from that perspective, but. Yeah,
I'm even at the DNC. I'm just looking at the crowd, and I'm like, it is not foreign to a black man or a black woman. I don't even think in Hispanic households it's that foreign for a woman to be running the show. Like, it's some type of set order. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we can embrace without. I don't feel weaker because I come from that, or because
Hispanics, like, it's still a little machismo, but it's still not to the same level as when we talk about Caucasians.
The machismo's there, but the appreciation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as a male in the household, you might get favoritism and you might get treated a little differently. But we all know moms running the show. If it came down to it. So it's just like, I noticed that, and I was just like, what's going on in the White House? Y'all ain't had no love for Hillary. Y'all don't love the women's. But you heard, man? Rapper Lil Baby arrested in Las Vegas for gun possession.
I heard. I didn't hear like the details of the story, but I did hear he was arrested for gun possession in Vegas.
A gun that he has a permit for. Yeah, he has a carry permit. Just didn't know that
he's allowed.
State. It's one that ain't allowed in no. I don't think it's allowed in no casino.
Okay.
Yeah, which is where they saw it at initially. He also said he was in a club with it, which is why I don't know why he told him that information because that's not allowed. But also, it's not allowed in Vegas. There's like a list of states that is not allowed, and I think 38 he can go to.
Oh, okay.
But there's some pretty big ones that you can't.
But so is he not a convicted felon?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I would find that weird that he has a concealed permit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I guess not.
It's Georgia. They be handing them out. So maybe it's not the hardest thing to get a gun, but
or maybe all his charges are misdemeanors. I don't know.
I've heard of him getting arrested, but I've never heard of him getting in no serious, like, I don't even know if
I'm just talking about before he even became,
right?
Yeah, because I mean, I know he'd been to jail. And so, but which doesn't mean you're, so I guess, you know, either his charges were misdemeanors or it was thrown out or, you know, typical shit like that.
You seen the mugshot?
No.
Looked like he was having a good old time. Lil Baby, man, arrested in Las Vegas.
That's gonna be thrown out.
You think so?
Well,
Vegas? I heard Vegas take a lot of that shit. Like,
well, I mean, I don't think he's gonna go to jail, is what I'm saying. So if there's no,
can't you lose your permit though?
I mean, whatever. If there ain't no jail time, it ain't serious.
I don't know, because he don't got like I don't. If that's his lifestyle, it's gonna affect his lifestyle.
Well, if that's his life, but I mean, why? Why is that? I mean, the king don't walk around with the gun, or like the king got people to protect him.
Which is weird that at this point, I think it's really silly. If we know your name, you should have a security guard.
Right.
That's just how it comes down to. Like, streamers have security guards. If you're a rapper,
was he arrested by himself? Like, what was the?
I think they saw him pass the gun to someone.
Okay.
And then I think they approached him late. They didn't stop him on the casino floor. I think they got him back at his hotel because they have him on video. It's like, you're in a casino, bro. Would you think you just pass it on to your mans?
But how did they see it to begin with? Like, how did this even become on their radar that he has a gun? Was he flashing it? Like,
he took it out in the casino, and I think he gave it to someone and put it in a bag. But you know, it's all cameras.
Right.
They watching for niggas cheating. You know what I'm saying? So I think once they have him doing that on video, this is him getting arrested. But I think once they have him doing that,
you were sitting and it was just bothering you, so you want to pass it off.
Yeah, maybe. But I think they have to notify the authorities if that happens. Plus, it's a gun. They don't know if you about to stick somebody up or, you know what I mean. Like, they got to do something. He was lucky though. He was being cooperative. You know what I mean. He wasn't.
There's no reason not to be cooperative. You know how that ends up.
It wouldn't end well. But basically, he's yelling at a security guard. He's like, "Yo, I'll give you 100 bands. Call this number right now." I'm probably his lawyer. And security guard's like, they don't pay you no 200 bands a year, bro. I'll give you 200 bands. Call this number right now. And I'm like, bro, it's not great. But I think he felt entitled. He's like, I gotta you know what I'm saying? And he just didn't know the rules. But you gotta know the rules, bro. Like, that's Brittany Griner type shit. Like, you gotta know the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you reach a certain level of fame, things don't apply to you in your mind. You don't even think about it. I guess that's what the hell happened here.
Real quick though, before we get up out of here, man, something I seen from Lil Yachty, and I'm a kind of Lil Yachty fan. I'm not like a diehard, but I see his talent. I see why Lil Yachty's talented. I like a lot of his music. I like a lot of the stuff that he's put out. So recently, he's put out an album with, I think he calls it the Concrete Boys. They're people he signed to his label. That's like his crew, so to speak. And there was an artist on there named Caribou. So he ran to his live to basically say he not fucking with Caribou no more. She ain't on the label.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nigga, all I ever did was help care. Nigga, care. If you want to tell this shit, tell the whole story. Go ahead, tell people how you verbally abuse people. Alright? Don't get on here and make it seem like niggas kicked you out. Like niggas kicked you out cause bullying you. Bro, go ahead, tell people how you talk to people. How you tell my security guard, oh, you homeless, oh, you work for me, oh, you ain't got no, you're poor, and we above you, and how you talk to people like they nothing. You talk to people like they small, like they beneath you. Bro, hold on. Tell people how you verbally abuse people. How you told me you gonna spit on me when you see me. Tell people how you talk to people, bro. How you your brain is clinically imbalanced, bro. How you disrespect people. How you go around treating people in your everyday life. I've been letting you do this whole thing where you act like you like a princess and you sweet and you know, like, oh, you just such a good girl. Bro, stop the front, bro. Internally, we have withheld your actions since the beginning of me giving you this career. What are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we even talking about, bro? You don't even do nothing. What the fuck? Yo, bro, it's so crazy to me, bro, because I've given you a career, and time to time you just disrespect me. I wrote every fucking verse you've done. I dressed you. I dressed all 5 of y'all niggas, bro. I dressed 5 niggas every time we stepped out the house. I put an outfit on everybody. I put 8-carat earrings in everybody's ear. I put 3 chains on all y'all neck. We bought a Cartier watch. I gave you that chrome Rolex. Bro, you the most, you was watching tables. You was waiting. What are we talking about, nigga? I changed your motherfucking life. And you on here lying, talking about some we bully you? That shit got me fucked up, bro. You got me fucked up.
I think it's weird on 2 levels to be an artist that wants to have artists, right? And then get mad when it don't work out. Because he goes on to say in that, he goes, I wrote every fucking verse you done wrote. Put out, she got famous basically for like an on the radar freestyle. Mm-hmm. He put out the reference track where he's rapping it. And basically she just learned the words and came out like it's a freestyle.
Nigga that I trust to knock off the dust. Or with that sack under my arm, stacking up a muss. I crushed the fucking to the tusk, too geeked up to fuss. You like a boss, I'm not like them, they doing such and such.
My arm, cause stacking up a muss. I crushed the perk into the tusk, too geeked up to fuss. Move like a boss, I'm not like them, they doing such and such.
It's corny, bro. Like, what was your inspiration for wanting to sign these artists? I'm just like, but what was, like, why you gotta like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, out these people like that. Like, that, it's weird to be an artist.
Now, did he say like y'all like as a group, or was he just specifically?
That was weird because he was actually talking to her, so I don't get why he called out the other one.
Oh, okay.
That was weird to me. But there's more weirdness in this rant. But to say like you're an artist and you want to have these artists, this is gonna happen. You ain't gotta like embarrass them,
right?
Or it's just like be professional. You know what I'm saying? Also, as an artist, I would hate to want to sign to like another artist. I'm always gonna be secondary. This is your retirement plan, but you still working in the same industry. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna push me above you. Very rarely have we seen like Lil Wayne, Drake is one of the few times I could really say the artist didn't stand in like the other artist's way in terms of blowing past them. You know what I mean? Or things didn't go left before it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it typically doesn't happen.
Yeah, it don't. Like, they'll lock them in a deal or something like that and be like, yo, you stuck, you know what I mean? And they got to buy you out before you can even go anywhere, right. All that type of shit. So it's just like, to see it going, that would make me very nervous to want to sign with an artist. But I
think they do it because, I mean, they get a bag.
They get a bag and they get a look, like, because who else, if the artist is going to sign you, need execs to sign you. You can't get in front of those execs unless you have the artist being like, yo, he nice. You ain't gonna get in the room. So I do kind of see where it's a catch-22, but I would, in that scenario, I would be like, take on a managerial role. I'm not gonna be on your label. Like, let me sign to someone and like let me rock under them, as opposed to, but then you discover me. You know what I mean? Maybe you should still get a little piece of this or whatever. But I'm not trying to like you dressing me. Like, why you gotta dress? If you don't like the
taking it too far.
Yeah, bro. Like I've never done that, but I've been in like scenarios where someone would be like, yo, we gonna get you like a stylist or and I'm just like, then you don't want me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you want someone else, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you can't do that. Like, I don't know. But to come back out and then be like, now I'm gonna call you out for it. Now I'm gonna like put out your, first of all, I don't listen to that much Lil Yachty. Like I said, I'm a casual fan. You hear that girl rap, you know he wrote the shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me play this shit for you, bro. I don't know. I just feel like that sound like Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you rap, like you offbeat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With it, and it's just like we kind of knew that. You ain't gotta like out. I don't know.
I mean, I just he took it personal. Like, you know, I did all this for you, and you gonna, you know, come over here and start disrespecting, and so, you know,
acting like we kicked you out the group. Also, what I didn't like, I don't know if you know, he does a podcast with his homeboy Mitch on an episode with Key Glock. It kind of feel like he disrespecting Mitch, right? I'll play the clip for you.
remove me, I was never in your life, what the fuck would you have been doing? I feel like you might have been doing that shit. Who knows what you have been doing if you ain't having to show you right there.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm saying that what you're saying is not. You're not like it's not true. You wouldn't tell him, hey man, just go get a job, man.
No, I ain't saying.
So basically, and we seeing that out of context, right? Which I think is how most people are gonna see it out of context. You know what I'm saying? So people's like, yo, why you clowning your homeboy? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, what'd you take from that? Like it look.
I mean, in that short clip, yeah, that's kind of
not clowning, but like I helped you out.
Right.
You wouldn't. Yeah,
if it wasn't for me,
and you wasn't about to go get a job. You was about to go do something crazy, probably. Which makes me think like Mitch told, you know what I'm saying, he'd be like, yo, I give advice to young boys, go get a job or something like that. And he's like, basically, you wouldn't say that. That's you saying that now, but that's not how you felt or whatever the case may be. And so the internet was like, yo, you kind of clowning your boy.
So what he's saying is true. It's just one of those situations where, you know, just certain things don't need to be said
on a podcast in front of a guest. And you could tell Mitch looked annoyed.
Because back then he probably wouldn't have told him go get a job. He probably would have said go rob a nigga. Go rob a nigga. Like that is the truth.
And that was the point Yachty was trying to make.
Yeah.
And Yachty woke up, he saw how Twitter was reacting, and he didn't feel like Mitch came to his defense. He's like, yo, Mitch, we cool like that. It was just an example. We joking. It's not like niggas is hurt, da-da-da. So I'll let you hear him, whatever.
Do something in life. Help me out. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to give you a platform. I'm going to find someone to sponsor us, and I'm going to give you a platform. We're going to make a podcast, and I'm going to show people how funny you are. I'm going to show people how crazy you are. I'm going to show people like how cool you are. And it's going to give you a platform. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to do no motherfucking podcast, nigga. I'm a motherfucking rapper, nigga. Got millions of dollars. I don't need to talk to other rappers. What the fuck are we talking about? I did the podcast for Mitch. Don't put goddamn $400,000 in Mitch's pocket. And y'all sitting here talking about something. He disrespecting his friend. And I ain't fucking with Mitch, bro. I've been asleep all day. I wake up to this crazy shit. Mitch, Mitch, how the fuck you didn't go on the internet and tell these folks that we playing, bro? That tweet got goddamn 6 million views on it. How the fuck you ain't going there and tell them folks we playing?
Man, it's Twitter, bro. You know how they is, bro. You know how Twitter is, bro. You know how Twitter is, bro.
All right, fuck that then, nigga. Fuck the podcast, nigga. Fuck you. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you and the podcast, nigga. How about that? I don't give a fuck about the podcast, nigga. Fuck the podcast, nigga. And like, what are we talking about, bro? All I do is help people, bro. I don't get nothing from none of this shit. I help people, bro. All I do is try and help people, bro.
It sounds like Yachty's a narcissist.
Like I said, help your friends out. You know what I mean? It's good to want to help you, but don't throw it in their face, bro. That's weird. Like, that's another sign to stay off the internet. Because it's like, you and Mitch could have settled that out, but now y'all trying to, like, in the court of public opinion. Maybe he felt like Mitch do respond to other stuff, and he felt like Mitch didn't respond to it. But maybe Mitch felt some type of way, bro.
Mitch clearly felt a certain type of way. You seen, like, when he brought it up, he knew where he was going to go with it.
Yeah. He's like, where you going with this? Yeah. I don't like that, though. Like, I you know what I mean? I like to obviously help your friends out, but goes back to the client. Maybe you shouldn't be doing business with your friends if that's how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And if you got problems with everybody, sometimes it might be you. Right. Sometimes it might be the way you moving, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. Like, I don't know Yachty. You know, an interview I heard recently, he was like, I think Bobby Atloff had said something. Him and her weren't getting along at a certain point, but now they cool. The girl, you know, the girl who do the interview.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they were like, well, what happened? He was like, she was talking crazy, but then he was like, then he kind of went back. He was like, not talking crazy, but I just didn't like how it was coming across. And it's just like, it's the internet, bro. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't be taking this shit personal.
It sounds like he got a problem.
It might be, yeah. And as like I said, I came into this saying, I am a fan of Lil Yachty. I don't like when you move like that, though, man. Like some stuff could be done off camera. Some stuff, you know, obviously things ain't always gonna be honky dory, but you ain't gotta embarrass your friends like that.
Right, for real.
But Spec, man, that's another episode in the books. We about to get up out of here, man. Thank you for coming through. Where can my people find you on social media?
Nowhere.
You can find your boy DJ Playboy on X at DJ Playboy. Find me on Instagram at Plickapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. Also, follow Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio, and check out the website www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. We got some new merch in there, so go check out the t-shirts, the stickers, and all that. You get yourself a mug, and of course, you can check out every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast right there. Everything DJ Playboy right there, man. Spec, you seen any new movies or anything lately?
Nah, man.
I seen Borderlands. I was gonna see Wolverine, Deadpool, which everybody was seeing, but I haven't. I
wanted to see that.
I'm not caught up though on the whole Deadpool saga. Like I seen like half of the first one, so I wanted to watch those first and then probably catch them on streaming. But Borderlands was cool. It didn't do that great in like the box office, but it was a cool movie. It's based off a video game.
Okay.
Kevin Hart's like in it. It's Kevin Hart.
Okay, I seen the trailer.
I got like a lot of stars, a lot of like big names in it. Jamie Lee Curtis was in it. I seen it because the podcast I listened to, his name is Bobby Lee. He had a small role in it, but I knew he'd been talking about it for years. So I was like, I gotta go check it out. And I think it's like I said, they didn't do great. I think they over $100 million to make. There's a lot of crazy special effects, and I think they only made like $20 million. But then I was like, in my head, I was like, it makes me want to go play the game now. And I never had any interest in playing the game. So I wonder if that's how they like view it. Like, all right, maybe we might not win the box office, but maybe this will bump sales in the video games. Because I'm sure when Last of Us was on HBO season 1, I'm pretty sure the sales went up for the video game.
Right.
Because it's, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's a long game, but it's just like they spent a lot of money on that movie. A lot of money. It was, and like I said, it wasn't the best movie. It was a cool summer movie. Shit blowing up, you know what I'm saying? Gunfights and all that shit. So it was cool to watch. But I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for football. I'm ready NBA to come back. I was watching a lot of WNBA last night. You know what I was gonna say too? Sidebar, that deal that they did with Ion, the network that they be on, it was actually a pretty good deal because I don't know how I would catch half the games I catch. The only reason I see it because Ion be on Roku.
Right.
So as soon as I turn my TV on, but I don't think I'd be catching as many WNBA games if it wasn't for Ion. So shout out to that deal that they got, and they just did a new
and
deal.
Prime.
So. That's on Prime too?
They're on Prime as well.
Oh, where? I've never seen them on Prime. All right, shout out, man. Yeah. You be knowing about all the Prime benefits. I keep up with Spec, man. But we up out of here, brother. Thank you for coming through. Another episode in the books. And peace, y'all. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Deuce.
We up out of here.
Yeah, they got a they did a deal with Prime, and so